Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Learning Conversations. I'm Aurora, and today I have a fantastic guest who's going to help us master one of the most important skills in English communication. Jonathan, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Hi, Aurora. Thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast today. I'm Jonathan, and I'm from the United States. I've been teaching conversational English and communication skills for over 14 years. I specialize in helping people develop natural small talk abilities because I believe small talk is the gateway to all meaningful relationships and opportunities in English-speaking environments. Today, we're going to explore 100 essential small talk sentences that will help your listeners feel confident in any casual conversation, whether they're meeting new people, chatting with colleagues, or making friends in English.
That's exactly what so many learners need, Jonathan. Small talk seems simple on the surface, but it's actually quite complex because it requires cultural knowledge, timing, and the right phrases. Many English learners can handle formal conversations but struggle with casual, spontaneous chats. Let's start with greetings and opening conversations. What are the most essential sentences for starting small talk?
Greetings are absolutely crucial because they set the tone for the entire interaction. Here are 10 fundamental opening sentences that work in most situations. Hi, how are you doing today? Good morning, beautiful weather, isn't it? Hello, I don't think we've met before. Hi there, how's your day going? Good afternoon, lovely to see you again. Hey, what brings you here today? Hi, I'm Jonathan, nice to meet you. Good evening, enjoying the event? Hello, mind if I join you? Hi, great to run into you here. These sentences are versatile and can be adapted for different settings, from elevators to coffee shops to networking events.
Those are really natural-sounding openers. Jonathan, what about responding to greetings? What sentences help us keep the conversation flowing after someone initiates small talk with us?
Response sentences are equally important because they show engagement and encourage continued conversation. Here are 10 essential response sentences. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you? Yes, it's such a gorgeous day. Perfect for being outside. Nice to meet you too. I'm Sarah. My day's going great, thanks. How's yours treating you? Thank you. It's good to see you as well. Just grabbing some coffee before work. What about you? The pleasure is all mine. Welcome to the neighborhood. Yes, I'm really enjoying it. Are you having a good time? Of course, please sit down. I'm just waiting for my friend. What a pleasant surprise. I was just thinking about you. These responses show interest in the other person and naturally lead to follow-up questions.
I love how these responses keep the conversation going naturally. Jonathan, let's talk about weather-related small talk. Weather seems to be such a universal small talk topic.
Weather small talk is absolutely universal and perfect for English learners because it's safe, non-controversial, and always relevant. Here are 10 weather-related sentences that work anywhere. What a beautiful sunny day we're having. I can't believe how cold it got overnight. This rain is exactly what my garden needed. I hope this nice weather continues through the weekend. It's so humid today, I can barely breathe. I love how crisp and clear the air feels today. They're predicting snow tomorrow, can you believe it? This wind is really picking up, isn't it? Perfect weather for a barbecue, don't you think? I'm so ready for spring after this long winter. Weather talk is comfortable because everyone experiences it and has opinions about it.
Weather really is the perfect neutral topic. Jonathan, what about compliments and positive observations? How can we use compliments in small talk?
Compliments are wonderful for small talk because they create positive energy and make people feel good. Here are 10 compliment-based sentences that work well. I love your jacket. Where did you get it? You have such a beautiful smile, it's contagious. That's a fantastic haircut, it really suits you. Your presentation was excellent, very informative. You're so good with kids, they obviously adore you. I admire how organized you always are. You have great taste in music, I love this playlist. Your garden is absolutely stunning this year. You're such a thoughtful person, thank you for remembering. I really appreciate your positive attitude about everything. The key is being genuine and specific rather than generic with compliments.
Those compliments feel very natural and sincere. Jonathan, let's discuss asking about people's backgrounds and interests. What sentences help us learn more about the people we meet?
Getting to know you sentences are the heart of meaningful small talk. Here are 10 sentences for learning about others. What kind of work do you do? Have you lived in this area long? What do you like to do for fun? Do you have any exciting plans for the weekend? What brought you to this event today? Are you originally from around here? What's your favorite thing about living in this city? Do you have any hobbies that you're passionate about? What kind of music do you enjoy listening to? Are you working on any interesting projects lately? These questions show genuine interest and give people opportunities to share what matters to them.
Those questions really invite people to share about themselves. Jonathan, what about sharing information about ourselves? What sentences help us contribute to the conversation?
Self-sharing sentences help balance conversations and build connections. Here are 10 sentences for sharing about yourself. I work in marketing, but I'm passionate about photography. I've been living here for about 3 years now. I love hiking and being outdoors on weekends. I'm planning to visit my family next month. I came here because I heard great things about this place. I grew up in a small town, so the city is still exciting to me. I'm really into cooking, especially Italian food. I'm currently learning Spanish in my free time. I've been playing guitar since I was a teenager. I just finished reading an amazing book about history. The key is sharing enough to be interesting but not overwhelming the conversation.
That balance between sharing and not oversharing is so important. Jonathan, let's talk about transitioning between topics. What sentences help us smoothly change subjects in small talk?
Smooth transitions keep conversations flowing naturally. Here are 10 transition sentences that work well. Speaking of travel, have you been anywhere interesting lately? That reminds me of something funny that happened yesterday. By the way, did you hear about the new restaurant downtown? On a completely different note, how do you like this coffee? I was just wondering, do you know much about gardening? While we're talking about movies, have you seen anything good recently? Actually, that makes me think of my experience in college. Changing the subject, what did you think of the presentation? Now that you mention it, I had a similar situation happen. Before I forget, I wanted to ask your opinion about something. These phrases signal topic changes while maintaining conversation flow.
Those transitions sound so natural and conversational. Jonathan, what about showing interest and engagement? What sentences demonstrate that we're actively listening?
Active listening sentences are crucial for successful small talk. Here are 10 sentences that show engagement. That sounds really interesting. Tell me more about it. Wow, I never thought about it that way before. That must have been quite an experience for you. I can totally relate to that situation. How fascinating. I'd love to learn more about that. That sounds challenging. How did you handle it? I'm impressed by your dedication to that project. What an amazing opportunity. You must be excited. I had no idea you were involved in that. That's such a unique perspective. I really appreciate it. These responses encourage people to continue sharing and show that you value their contributions.
Those responses really show genuine interest. Jonathan, let's discuss expressing opinions and preferences. What sentences help us share our views politely in small talk?
Opinion-sharing sentences help express personality while remaining conversational. Here are 10 sentences for sharing views politely. I personally prefer tea over coffee, but both are great. In my opinion, that movie was absolutely brilliant. I tend to think that exercise in the morning works best. From my perspective, traveling teaches you so much about life. I'm not really a fan of horror movies, but I respect people who love them. I find that reading before bed helps me sleep better. I believe that kindness is the most important quality in a person. I'm more of a morning person, so I love early sunrises. I think that learning languages opens so many doors. I feel like technology has both benefits and drawbacks. These sentences express opinions while remaining open to other viewpoints.
Those opinions are expressed in such a diplomatic way. Jonathan, what about dealing with awkward moments or conversation pauses? What sentences help us handle difficult small talk situations?
Recovery sentences are lifesavers when conversations get awkward. Here are 10 sentences for handling difficult moments. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you repeat it? That's interesting. I'll have to think about that more. You know, I'm not really sure about that topic. Let me ask you something completely different. I'm drawing a blank right now. What were we talking about? That's a good point. I hadn't considered that angle. I'm afraid I don't know much about that subject. Maybe we should talk about something more cheerful. I think I misunderstood what you meant. Could you clarify? You know what? Let's just agree to disagree on this one. These sentences help redirect conversations when they become uncomfortable or stagnant.
Those are really helpful for navigating tricky moments. Jonathan, what about ending conversations gracefully? What sentences help us wrap up small talk politely?
Polite endings are just as important as good beginnings. Here are 10 sentences for concluding conversations gracefully. It was really nice talking with you today. I should probably get going, but this was lovely. Thanks for the great conversation. I enjoyed it. I hope we get a chance to chat again soon. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Have a wonderful day. I'm afraid I have to run, but let's catch up again sometime. Thanks for your time. I really appreciated your insights. I should head back to work, but this was fun. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. These endings leave positive impressions and open doors for future conversations.
Those endings feel very warm and natural. Jonathan, we've covered 90 sentences so far. What are the final 10 sentences that complete our small talk toolkit?
For our final 10 sentences, let me include some versatile phrases that work in various small talk situations. What a small world. I can't believe we both know Sarah. I've been meaning to try that restaurant you mentioned. You seem like such a genuine person. It's refreshing. I hope everything works out well with your project. Feel free to reach out if you ever want to grab coffee. I really admire your positive outlook on life. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you better. I'm so glad we had this chance to chat. You've given me a lot to think about today. I have a feeling we're going to be great friends. These sentences add warmth, build connections, and leave conversations on positive notes.
That's a perfect way to complete our 100 sentences. Jonathan, now that we have this comprehensive collection, how should learners practice using these sentences effectively?
Practice is essential for making these sentences feel natural. First, learners should practice with different intonations and emotions. The same sentence can sound curious, enthusiastic, or sympathetic depending on how you say it. Second, practice combining sentences to create mini conversations. For example, start with a greeting, add a weather comment, then ask a personal question. Third, practice adapting sentences to different contexts: workplace, social events, grocery stores, gyms. Fourth, record yourself using these sentences and listen for naturalness. Fifth, find opportunities to use one or two new sentences each day in real interactions. The goal is to internalize these patterns so they come out automatically in conversations.
Those are excellent practice strategies. Jonathan, how do these sentences help with overall English confidence and fluency?
Small talk sentences are confidence builders because they prepare you for the most common social interactions. When you have ready responses for typical situations, you feel more relaxed and natural in conversations. This confidence creates a positive cycle. The more comfortable you are with small talk, the more opportunities you have to practice English in real situations. Small talk also teaches cultural norms, timing, and social cues that are essential for fluency. Additionally, these conversations often lead to deeper relationships and opportunities, whether personal or professional. Mastering small talk essentially opens doors to fuller participation in English-speaking communities.
That really highlights why small talk is so much more important than it might seem on the surface. Jonathan, what cultural considerations should learners keep in mind when using these sentences?
Cultural awareness is crucial for effective small talk. Different English-speaking countries have varying norms about personal space, appropriate topics, and conversation styles. Americans tend to be more open about personal information, while British people might prefer more indirect communication. Some topics that are safe in one culture might be sensitive in another. The key is observing local patterns and adjusting accordingly. However, the sentences we've discussed are generally appropriate across English-speaking cultures. When in doubt, start with safer topics like weather, local events, or general interests, then follow the other person's lead about how personal or direct to become.
That's wise advice about cultural sensitivity. Jonathan, how can learners make these sentences sound more natural and less scripted?
Natural delivery is absolutely essential. First, vary your sentence structures. Don't always use the exact phrases we've discussed. Learn the underlying patterns and create your own variations. Second, add personal details and emotions. Instead of just, "How was your weekend?" Try, "How was your weekend? I saw on social media that you went hiking." Third, practice timing and pauses. Real conversations have natural rhythms with pauses, hesitations, and overlapping speech. Fourth, work on your facial expressions and body language, which communicate as much as words. Finally, focus on genuine curiosity about other people rather than just delivering lines. When you're truly interested, your language naturally becomes more engaging and authentic.
Those tips will definitely help avoid that robotic conversation style. Jonathan, what role does listening play in successful small talk?
Listening is arguably more important than speaking in small talk. Good listeners notice opportunities to ask follow-up questions, pick up on emotional cues, and remember details from previous conversations. Active listening involves responding to what people actually say, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Pay attention to tone of voice, which often communicates more than words. Notice when people seem excited, worried, or tired, and respond appropriately. Good listeners also remember personal details and reference them in future conversations, which builds stronger relationships. The sentences we've discussed are tools, but effective small talk requires genuine interest in other people's experiences and feelings.
Listening really is the foundation of good conversation. Jonathan, how can learners build confidence to initiate small talk rather than just responding to others?
Initiating conversations is often the biggest challenge for language learners. Start with low-risk situations like commenting on something obvious, the weather, a long line, or a shared experience. Practice in environments where brief interactions are normal, like elevators, coffee shops, or waiting areas. Have a few go-to opening lines ready so you don't have to think of something original every time. Remember that most people appreciate friendly conversation and are forgiving of language mistakes. Start with compliments or observations about the immediate environment. Building initiative requires pushing through initial discomfort, but each successful interaction builds confidence for the next one.
That's encouraging advice about starting small and building up confidence. Jonathan, before we finish, what's your most important advice for mastering small talk in English?
My most important advice is to remember that small talk is about connection, not perfection. The goal isn't to use perfect grammar or impress people with vocabulary. It's to create pleasant human connections with the people around you. Focus on being genuinely interested in others, kind in your interactions, and willing to share appropriate parts of yourself. Mistakes are completely normal and often make you more relatable. The 100 sentences we've discussed today are tools to help you feel prepared. But the real magic happens when you use them with authentic curiosity about other people's lives. Small talk is called small, but it creates big impacts on relationships and opportunities.
That's beautiful advice about focusing on connection over perfection. Jonathan, thank you so much for sharing these 100 essential small talk sentences with us. I think our listeners now have the tools they need to feel confident in any casual conversation.
Thank you, Aurora. This has been such an enjoyable conversation, a perfect example of how small talk can lead to meaningful exchanges. I hope your listeners feel excited about using these sentences to connect with people around them. Remember, every expert was once a beginner, and every friendship started with small talk.
And thank you to all our listeners. Remember, these 100 sentences are your passport to countless conversations and connections. Don't worry about using them perfectly. Focus on using them to show interest in others and share your own experiences. Small talk might seem trivial, but it's actually the foundation of most relationships and opportunities in life.
Exactly. Start today by using just one or two of these sentences in real conversations. Tomorrow, add one or two more. Before you know it, making small talk in English will feel as natural as breathing. Every person you meet is an opportunity to practice and improve.
Until next time, this is Aurora from English Learning Conversations. Keep chatting, keep connecting, and remember that every small conversation has the potential to lead to something wonderful. Your small talk skills will open doors you never imagined. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and may all your small talk lead to big friendships.